Welcome to V's Staryard. Today we're going to be building the Freestar Warbird. This is a good time to pause the video and check out the description. In the description you'll find the list of parts you're going to need as well as the ship manufacturers. And there will also be a link to the interior tour as well as the flight and fight video. So with this video, don't forget to like and subscribe. And then I hope you all enjoy. So that being said, we're going to get started. What we're going to do is we're going to actually merge the reactor with the Grav drive. So we're going to use this Nova bracer. You can also use a 1x1 hab to do this same trick. And so we're going to put this above it. What we're going to do is we're going to grab the bottom piece as well as the reactor and duplicate them. What that's going to do is, as you saw, again, it's going to force the reactor down. So we're going to take these pieces and we're going to clean up those and we're going to put these on the side. Because what we're actually going to do is we're going to merge in the fuel tanks in here as well as the engines. So we're going to take one of the engine pieces right here. What you want to do is you want to get it as close as you can to the snap point and flip it, then let it go. You're going to grab the build by selecting all the pieces and then pressing A and then letting go. That's going to snap the fuel tank into there. Now we're going to repeat this again 4 times. So we're going to get as close as we can to the snap points, flip it, let it go. And then we're going to grab the whole thing and it's going to snap in place. And then we're going to do the same thing with this one. Flip it, let it go. And then we're going to go ahead and grab that, make sure it connects. We're going to put this other one in here, so we're going to flip it, let it go, grab it, and then merge it with that. Now what you're going to want to do is we're going to duplicate this a couple more times. We're going to clean up the bottom ones. We're going to leave those 2 hovering there. Because now what we want to do is we want to glitch our engines into place. And see, it's going to duplicate it down. We're going to do that again. And now what we can do is we can clean this up. We can clean that up. What I'm going to do is I'm going to bring one over to cover it. So now when I duplicate the engine, it's going to want to duplicate right where it's at. So your build should look like this so far. Because what we're going to need to do is we're going to need to do that same trick we were doing the fuel tanks with the engines. So what we're going to do is we're going to duplicate the engine. And we're going to grab it, snap the engine. Duplicate, snap, grab. Duplicate, grab. Duplicate, grab. Duplicate, grab. Now our engines are merged into that spot. So now what we can do is we can get rid of these. What we're going to need to do is we're going to need to merge one bracer down in. So we're going to grab that bottom one and that one. And now that that's merged in, and those are all one piece, it should look something like that. Now we're going to grab our docker. We're going to attach that to the bottom snap point. We're going to grab our landing bay. We're going to connect that to the docker. And what we're going to do is we're going to grab this bumper, place it on the back, place this Deimos wing piece, and then we're going to do the same thing on the other side. So again, on the back bottom snap point, and there. So it should look like that. Now we're going to need to grab the hab. We're actually going to duplicate it and put it up, and we're going to clean up the hab underneath, because what we're going to want to do is we're going to want to duplicate the hab downwards. If not, this cockpit isn't going to fit where it goes. And then we're going to delete these two pieces. So now we're going to build the wings. So we're going to grab this Deimos wing piece. It's going to attach there. And then we're going to need this bumper piece. Just going to attach on the inside here. We're going to grab this bumper piece. Now we've got a snap point for the bumper piece, so we're going to flip it, let it go. We're going to grab the ship so it snaps to it. Now we're going to grab this wing piece. Make sure we have a nice overhang like that, so you get that nice little valley. Now this one, we're going to bring it as close as we can to the snap point. We're going to flip it twice, and then it's going to want to go down. So what you want to do is you want to cycle it, because if you keep flipping it, it wants to go down to that bottom snap point. So if you cycle it back and forth like that, it's going to stay in place. So that way you can actually connect it. Now, we're going to grab this wing piece for the cowling. We're going to actually put it over our Deimos wing piece. Again, you want to grab the ship, make sure it snaps. We're going to attach this other piece by flipping it and letting it go. See, it's fully attached. So now, next piece, we're going to grab this Deimos wing piece and put it there. And this one here, to the front snap point of that. And what we want to do is, now that we have that snap point, we want to bring this as close as we can to the snap point and grab it and make sure it connects to the ship, like so. And what we're going to do is we're going to grab this piece, get as close as we can to that snap point, and then grab it, snap it onto the ship. And this is going to go here. Now what we can do is now we can attach this piece by flipping it and letting it go. And that one should just attach right to the snap point. That's going to give us a snap point for this one. So you want to get it as close as you can to the snap point. And then attach it like we were doing earlier. That's going to give us another snap point for this one. So we can flip it back and forth and then let it go. Now we're going to attach that to that snap point. And we're going to attach this wing piece. That'll give us our final snap point for this piece of the wing. Now you want to get this as close as you can to the snap point like we were doing earlier. And same thing here, as close as you can get it. Then grab the whole ship, and the whole ship will snap to it. Same thing. That's how you build the wing there. Now, with this piece, we're going to move it out of the way for now. Because what we're going to do is we're going to do the same thing we did before, just in reverse. and mirroring what we did on the other side. So flip, flip, let go. I'm going to grab this piece, attach it there. Grab this wing piece. That's going to connect right there. Grab this other wing piece. And you can cycle through. If you flip, it's going to want to go to the bottom snap point. So what we're going to do, instead this time, we're going to grab it and we're going to put this piece on first, because then it's not going to eat up both of the snap points, and it makes this part easier to put on because it's just going to go in place, or at least want to, but then it doesn't. So you may have a little bit of a hard time with this part, but when I grab it again, it snaps up. Alternatively, you can cycle through like we did on the other side to make it attach. Now this is going to cover our wing pieces by doing the same thing we were doing earlier. And we're doing the same thing again. So this is going to attach to the back snap point. And this one's going to attach to the front snap point. And then we'll take this bumper piece, put it there. Grab this wing piece, and then it'll snap to that new bumper piece. Then we're going to take this bumper piece and place it here. And we're going to grab this wing piece, should just attach there. Now we don't have an attachment point for this one yet, so I'm just going to place it right there for now. And then this piece is going to attach there. And now it's going to attach right there. So those are both attached. Now we can take our bumper pieces. So you want to put this as close as you can to the snap point. We're going to grab the ship. That other piece wasn't snapped, so now it's snapped on. We're going to grab this. So it's going to snap in place to the right place where it's supposed to go. And that's going to snap. Now it's all connected. We're going to get this as close as we can to the snap point. And grab the ship. Same thing. And then we're going to do the same thing for these other two pieces. And there you go. Now with this part, it's a little tricky because it wants to snap to the two different points. So what you're going to do is you're going to snap it to the bottom point first. Because what that's going to do is that's going to give you a snap. That's going to take up that snap point. And the way I did that is I cycled through it. And so now it'll force it to the top snap point, and you're going to cycle through. But you want to make sure that it's actually placed in Shipbuilder first, or else it's going to disappear like it did there. We're going to cycle through it and let it go. So it should look like this so far. And what that's going to do is that's going to give us snap points We're going to grab our shield, place it here. And what I did is I merged all the weapons into this equipment plate by flipping them until they attached, and then I duplicated them over and over again so they stayed on that equipment plate. But now what we're running into is there's no snap points here, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to place this piece first. Then we can now have an attachment point for this piece. So we're going to flip it, let it go. Now we can move this piece out of the way. We can attach our shield. And then now we have that attached. So then what we can do, we can take this spine piece. You want to get it as close to the snap point as possible. And then it should attach itself once you grab the ship. We're going to take this last spine piece. And we're going to attach it right there. And now that we have all that done, you can see the ship here. And what we're going to do now is we're going to need to attach the landing gear. And so what you want to try to do is, what I try to do here is I try to get as close to as possible to the snap point, but it just wasn't cooperating the way I needed it to be. So what I did is I forced it into the spot, because I'm trying to get as close as possible to attach it, but it's just not cooperating. Sometimes, you know, you do something and it works, and then sometimes you do it again and it doesn't work. And what I'm trying to do is duplicate it and get it to snap, but see, it's not snapping. So what I end up doing here is there's a couple different ways to do this. So what I do is I attach it, and then it wants to attach to that bottom snap point. So then what we're effectively going to do is we're going to duplicate it and leave it there, because what's going to happen is that once we get the piece underneath, we're going to switch it to the 2 legs, and then now we're going to duplicate it and we're going to switch it to the 1 leg, so that way we can get access to the 2 legs underneath. And then what that's going to allow us to do is when we duplicate it, it's got nowhere to go, so it's all just going to duplicate right there. And we're going to duplicate that 5 times. Then we're going to grab the ship, attach it, grab the ship, attach it, and now all of the landing gear is attached in one place. And so there we go. You're now the proud owner of a Freestar Warbird. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment. Thank you all for your support. I look forward to building more ships.